It is 1 minute before 7 p.m., so I'm a tad bit early. So I'll wait. Okay, now it's 7 p.m. Time for Motivation Sundays. If you've been following my story, watching my posts, and understand that if you've been seen my posts this week, it's all about mental health. I'll take a little time so I can reiterate that when more people join. Hey y'all, talking about mental health today. So we'll wait for a couple more people to join and then I'm gonna get started. I'm gonna give it till 7:02. So I really want people to be able to be a part of this live and hear this message. Thank you guys for tuning in, by the way. Again, 1 more minute and I'm gonna go ahead and get started. But I really want people to have time to log in and join the conversation to really get this message. I think it's really important for everybody to hear this. Again, we're talking about mental health, and I think that's really important and a really good topic especially for everybody in the Black community to hear and be aware of. Make sure that everybody can hear me, see me, all that good stuff. All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So this week I've been doing a lot of posts. Hey Sydney, I've been doing a lot of posts centered around mental health. I think it is a big topic, a big important topic. Hey, how you doing, Manuel? A big important topic for everyone of all ages. With the rise in suicides and rampant depression, anxiety, stress, with the 24/8 mentality, no sleep, just a lot of things that are actually, they're meant to motivate, but they end up manifesting in unhealthy ways. The drug culture, finding an escape any way you can. A lot of young people have involved themselves in things that are eventually, what's good, bro? Eventually detrimental to their health, whether it be physical, but they often ignore the mental part. And I think a lot of people need to get back to focusing on that, or refocus themselves and their energy on that type of health. Because, I mean, your mind controls your body, controls your mood, controls your health. Like, hey, what's going on, Dr. Clark? Mental health is paramount. I'll say again, mental health is paramount to your success. It determines your willpower, it determines your confidence, it determines your know-how, how you're absorbing information, the energy you're giving off to people. I've been doing a lot of study on body language, and in actuality, that controls your mood. But when you're mentally unwell, you're mentally unfit, your body language promotes an energy that comes off as negative and comes off as off-putting to other people. Mental health is something, especially in the Black community, that we don't talk about. Therapy is, oh, I don't want to go see a shrink. I don't need any help. You kind of do. And if you can't have access or you don't have access to a shrink, talk to somebody. Find a friend, people that are willing to listen, a close friend, a real friend, will be willing to hear you out, because you never know what's going on in someone else's head until we talk or find out, until we ask them. I was talking about this with you yesterday. I was saying to anybody, like, if we don't know what's going on, they're good at, people become good at hiding it, and being in their own little world, but what's going on with their internet history, their search history? What are they looking up online? What imagery are they absorbing from the television they watch? What Dr. Clark says, keep pushing. I love the motivation. Keep teaching and telling the truth. The community needs your voice. Please keep training the black community. I definitely will. And I'm starting today. Hey, what's going on? I got you after this. I ain't forget. But today I'm talking about mental health. And in the black community, it's something that's kind of pushed behind. Thank you. You're the best too. It's kind of swept under the rug, and people don't talk about it and don't talk about the things they've been through. And you see a lot of times, even black women get labeled with this superwoman stereotype, like they can do it all, they feel no pain, they cook, clean, job, all that, take care of the kids, all that in a wrap. And men are forced to this area of non-vulnerability. Like, they aren't allowed to express emotions, they aren't allowed to feel sad, they aren't allowed to cry, anything of that nature, seen as weak. That's not right. It doesn't make sense. It can lead to a lot of detrimental things in your own life and your friend's life. And again, be cognizant of the signs. I believe that schools and offices should offer training courses so people can be aware of the signs of depression, the signs of anxiety. I believe the government should cover therapy with the rising epidemic, I would say, of suicides and mental health issues. I believe there should be a class in college, a class at work. It makes you abreast of the things that plague your mind and can really cause those mental health issues to arise. I believe a lot of people don't talk about it because they don't know how. So what should the conversation start? Is it going to be after we've seen enough people die or kill themselves because of issues that went unresolved? Are we going to wait another 10 to 20 court cases about someone who had a mental break and didn't seek help and just went on a rampage? How long are we going to wait? When I think about my own story, there were a lot of mental health issues that I came on with, a lot of anxiety, a lot of sadness, a lot of loneliness, because I didn't feel like people understood where I was and where I've been and what I was going through. But I took it upon myself to go to therapy, to talk to people, to really show people that it is possible to overcome these things. And that's exactly why I'm starting Overcome Adversity, because I just want to see people get past those things, get past your anxiety and be successful, get past your depression and be powerful, get past your anxiety, get past your stress, and show the world that you can do something. Mental health is something that is there. It's not a boogeyman. It's a real thing that people face every day. How long are you going to wait and hide those issues and let things boil up before your cup explodes? Before your cup can't hold whatever? Before your soda can explode from shaking up, from so much inside of you that you hold in, that you're repressing? How much longer are you going to wait? How much longer are you going to wait and watch your friend spiral out of control? How much longer are you going to wait and sit by the wayside and let your close ones, your loved ones, your friends, family, your significant other fall into a dark void of mental, they're just not there? You let that person become a shell. I don't think that's right, and I think it's finally time we do something about this, because think about the things that we face on a regular basis in the black community: discrimination, racism, all those type of things. Hey, Mom. And on top of that, we stack mental health. We already have enough to deal with every day on a regular basis. whether it's from your job, whether it's from your home life, whether it's from your neighborhood, your friends, family. Life in general is challenging, and every day we're faced with different issues. So why allow mental health to be another one of those issues? Why does that have to be added to your plate? When I came into the hospital, I was thankful, but then I remember when I first saw myself in the mirror and I had like another person growing out the side of my head. And I think in that moment I lost it. Like inside I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say. I didn't see myself in myself. So I think that led to feeling of uneasiness, anxiety, depression. And I feel like I carried the burden of a lot of other people because I felt like I had to be the strong one. I wasn't allowed to feel that pain. I wasn't allowed to feel that stress. And I had to carry everyone else's. But it's not hey, what's going on, brother? It's not your job to carry everybody else's stress. Carry everybody else's emotions. You have to get right within yourself, mentally, physically, spiritually. You have to really think about yourself and fix everything that's in your challenging you. Because you can't give, and give if you have nothing to give. Because then you start operating in the negative and you're operating at an emotional deficit. That's when you're giving of yourself but not providing to yourself. Therefore, you're taking away from yourself. And eventually you have nothing left. You think about people that commit suicide, they felt like they had no other option. But there were signs. There were instances and things they said and ways they operated that suddenly changed. Hey, what's going on, bro? Whether it was they started giving away things, or they started wanting to be about themselves, or they seemed a little dejected and not really focused on these things, and they started speaking, I don't know, in a very morbid way of speaking, when I pass, or, I think it's time for me to. And there are amongst other things, and that's why I think it's important, especially for people with kids, that you gotta kind of check behind them and see what their images they're absorbing and what kind of stuff they're searching on the internet, because they may not show those signs, but it's there. You just have to go and find it. And I think counseling should be offered from elementary school, like in the monthly check-in or whatever. I think it's important that people really invest their time and their effort into that. It can really save a lot of lives and keep a lot of families whole. I went to a therapist in college. Maryland offers free counseling for at least a semester, and I went in for 12 weeks. I took advantage of those things that were available to me, and I think you should too. It's difficult to admit sometimes. I know I speak for a lot of black men when they say, oh, I don't need it. I'm strong. I got everything together. And they develop this armor around them. But the minute you find a weak point, they crumble. You're strong on the outside, but you haven't developed the foundation to stand bond strong on the inside. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to feel sad. It's okay to feel lonely. It's okay to want to feel, but it's okay to want to be happy. You know, like life isn't a straight line to happiness. Happiness is not a destination. It's a journey. And sometimes your journeys are like this, and then they go up and down in all kinds of different ways. But as long as you stay that path and you're checking in with yourself, checking in with your loved ones, checking in, doing some reflection, meditation, prayer, seek help, seek therapy, seek psychiatrists, seek just open conversation and being honest with yourself. You know, I was in a program Chapler had last year, and I think this is pretty prevalent amongst young people, young black men of African descent. It's you don't show tears, or I never seen my dad cry, or I got called a crybaby growing up. You know, I think if people were taught their emotions or how to manage them, or taught more empathy, the world would be a better place. The world would be a much better place. Thank you, Manuel. Thank you, Dr. Clark. So how can we change the narrative? How can we make it so it's not weak or not seen down upon or not just not a negative thing to feel and be empathetic and be vulnerable and be, you know, acknowledge that you feel something, that you feel those, that you have bouts of depression or you feel the anxiety about anything. You know, a lot of people, it's not that people fear failure. A lot of times in business, they fear success. It's not that you fear being sad. It's that you fear being happy. And you don't know what that looks like. And you're comfortable. You're comfortable being sad. You're comfortable being lonely because that's what you know and that's what you're used to. But you don't have to accept that. You don't have to be that person. You should always strive to be better than you were the last day. There are people out there with the same stories you may have. That community is for people with depression, anger, anxiety, stress, lost family members, lost loved ones. Seek them out. Talk to those people. Understand and try to relate to their stories and see it from their perspective. You know, a lot of times for myself, I'm so willing to help other people that I don't include myself in those positive things. But I think there are a lot of people like that in my community and other communities all over the world. They want to give, and you know, gung ho about giving, but when they come home, they kind of crumble. If nothing left, you're operating in emotional deficit. How can we change the course? How can we change the narrative to make it cool to be mentally healthy? How can we make it okay to feel sad, but know there's a way out? What are we going to do about it? Are we going to start a discussion? Start a movement? Organization? Or just going to keep silent and let things continue as it have for the last, I don't know, half a century? Where do we go from here? I think this is the first step, acknowledging that this is a problem and being determined to change the route of history, to change the narrative, change the story. That it's a goal to be mentally healthy. It means a lot more sometimes than being physically fit. So that's the journey I'm on. And if you're interested in starting up a discussion or panel or something, we have just our community come out and talk. Let's do it. Whether it's a live panel or a live stream like this, we get a lot of people on here discussing different things or whatever it may be. I just really feel like, I was put through this situation and been through this hardship for a reason. And I'm not going to let that falter, deter me from what my mission is. And that's why I'm creating Overcome Adversity. Talk to people who've been through something but just don't know how to keep going. Who overcame their own adversity and need a path to continue, a guidelines to continue, need strategies to make themselves whole again. To make this world a better place. There's a new Winnie the Pooh movie, and he said, I always get where I'm going if I leave where I've been. Where are you right now? Are you choosing to stay there? It's time to move on. Keep moving forward. It's time to press past comfortable. It's no more time to be comfortable and lonely. It's time to be uncomfortable and happy. Time to be uncomfortable and successful. It's time to be uncomfortable and live your best life. It's time for you to be someone better. It's a difficult journey, and I don't expect anyone to take this lightly or feel like, oh, I have the answers and just jump right forward. It doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen in one day. It doesn't happen in 1 week. It's a lifelong journey to wellness. Are you ready to take up that mantle and be your best self and be truly on the pursuit of happiness? Where do we go from here? Let's start that discussion. Let's have the dialogue. Let's get the engine running. Let's get kids counseling earlier in life. Let's talk about these problems openly and don't treat them like the black sheep of the family or the cousin that no one acknowledges. These issues are important and they matter to a lot of people. And they've cost a lot of lives because no one addressed it. Well, it's time to start addressing it. So what are we going to do? I don't have the answer, but I do have some ideas. So if you have some ideas, shoot me a DM or email, whatever. Let's get something going. Despite what I've been through, I always tell myself, my life is, people, tend to ask me how I'm doing. And I always say, if I was doing any better, there'd be two of me. And people are often astounded by that. Like, you just had your third brain surgery, or you had a stroke, and you're not even 30 yet. Like, how did you keep that attitude? Because I want to live. I want to be happy. And mental health is where it starts. I mean, that's really just it. You have to get, if you want to live a truly happy life, then mental health is where it starts. I can't say any more than that. And I really want everybody that tuned in today to really take heed to that. Because you mean a lot to a lot of people, whether you know it or not. And every day you wake up, you make the world better. Every day my feet touch the ground, I'm thankful. And every day I do something to strengthen my mental resolve. And every day I run against the grain and say it's okay to feel sad. It's okay to feel depression. It's okay to feel today's just my day. But it's not okay to keep that going. And when you see other people do it, you just kind of shrug it off. It's not my problem. It is your problem. It's all of our problems. And it's time we do something to fix it. So what are you going to do? What are we going to do? That's the question I'm going to leave y'all with today. If you're going to answer the solutions, let me know. With that being said, I am, as my post said today, it's okay to take a break. And I think for my mental sanity, for my mental health, I need to take some time away. And I'm okay with that. And it's okay for you to take a break as well. Yes, give good value. But give some of that value to yourself. I'll be back the week of July 10th. But for now, I'm just going to take a break. Do some self-reflection, some meditation, some prayer, some rest. Because as much as I want to give to you, I have to give to myself too. And that's important. And you have to believe the same about yourself. Because besides God, you are the most important person to yourself. Don't get lost in the sea of trying to do this and that and multitask and be all over the place and be the person that knows the person. And none of that matters if you don't have your health. So I'm taking it upon myself to preserve my mental health. I'm going to step away. Thank you to everybody who's been following my journey. Thank you to everybody for tuning in. Just thank you. And, I won't be gone forever, but it's time for me to back up and just really reevaluate and spend some time really soul searching to figure out what I have to do about this mental health crisis. Because it's paramount. It's too important to ignore. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. Again, I'll be back posting the week of July 10th. I guess July 17th, I'll be on live again, and I'll be talking about persistence. But this isn't the last time I'm going to touch on mental health. So again, thank you everybody who's been supporting my journey, watching my lives. And remember, the darkest night comes before the brightest morning. And the morning is coming. Alright, take care everybody. Till then, peace.